Cell phones off. कबीर हर के गुण गावे, दास कबीर हर के गुण गावे, बाहर को पारण पावे, बाहर को पारण पावे, गुरु की करनी गुरु जाएगा, गुरु की करनी गुरु जाएगा, चेले की करनी चेला, चेले की करनी चेला, उड़ जाएगा, उड़ जाएगा, उड़ जाएगा, हंस अकेला जग दर्शन का मेला, जग दर्शन का मेला, उड़ जाएगा, उड़ जाएगा, उड़ जाएगा, हंस अकेला।
क्या बात। सुंदर. Yeah. Leave it like that little. उससे थोड़ा सा खोल. हाँ, हल्का सा. हाँ. वन मोर. 2 लोग और गा रहे हैं ना. सो कौन कौन? पूनम जी.
ये आपकी मोमेंट.
थैंक यू. आप गा रहे हैं? Yeah, that will be nice. It's on. Just give them. Was singing.
So you singing the next one?
There are others. I can sing on one or later.
Was 3 like Poonam ji said. There's 3 people who are singing.
I'll come there.
Yeah, that will be nice.
So I learned Kabir dohas when I was in school, and I think I was very lucky because each doha is very deep in philosophy. It's like पूरे दुनिया की philosophy भरी है दोहे में. तो मैं सिर्फ 7 दोहा एक ही बार गाऊंगी. So just letting you know, and I'm not a singer, but so just please bear with me. Yeah. दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे, फिर दुख काहे होए. माला फेरत जग भया, मिटा न मन का फेर. कर का मन का छाड़ी दे, मन का फेर. पोठी पढ़ पढ़ जग मुआ, पंडित भया न कोई. ढाई आखर प्रेम का, पढ़े जो पंडित होई. रात गवायो सोई कर, दिवस गवायो खाए. हीरा जन्म अमोल था, कौड़ी बदली जाए. जिन खोजा तिन पाइया, गहरे पानी पैठ. मैं बोरी डूबन डरी, रही किनारे बैठ. आएंगे सो जाएंगे, राजा रंक फकीर. एक सिंहासन चढ़ चला, एक बंधे संजीर. माटी कहे कुहार से, तू क्या रोंधे मोए. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, मैं रोंधूंगी तोए. थैंक यू. I'll tell you the translation. So, दुख में सुमिरन सब करे is everybody prays when they are unhappy. सुख में करे ना कोई. When they are happy you don't pray. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे. If you pray when you are happy, तो फिर दुख काहे हो. You won't be unhappy. Then माला फेर. This is one of my favorite. माला फेरत जग भया. तो आप माला फेरते हो. You know, meditation, पूजा पाठ, and you go around the world. मिटा ना मन का फेर. पर आपके मन का फेर नहीं मिलता है. कर का मन का छाड़ी दे, मन का फेर नहीं. कर का मन का. This, you know, all this religious and all ये छोड़ दो. और keep your mind pure. You know, that's all you need. Then पाठी पद पर जग मुआ, पंडित भया न कोई. You could read all the books and all the religious texts. आप उसको you cannot become a पंडित. ढाई आखर प्रेम के, पढ़े सो पंडित हो. Live with love, live with karuna, you will become a पंडित. रात गवायो सोए कर, दिवस गवायो खाए. In case of कांचा also getting petted, but हम रात को सोते हैं, दिवस को खाते हैं. हीरा जन्म अमोल था. So this amazing life that we have, which is like a hira, we exchange it for kauris. So in those days, used to have kauris, you know, seashells as currency. So
Life is like a diamond, but we are
exchanging it for mamuli seashells, you know, like mamuli paisa in today's time and days. Jin khoya tin paya, gehre pani pet. Only if you seek, you'll find. So if you jump into the sea, then you'll find a pearl. Main bori dubandari. I was bori means dumb, and dubandari didn't want to
I got scared.
drown. I was scared of drowning. Yeah. So rahi kinare bed. So I just sat on the edge, you know, and I didn't jump in. आएंगे सो जाएंगे राजा रंग फकीर means if you've come you're going to go whether you're raja rank or fakir in the end in the journey everything is the same. You have the same singhasan which is the you know that thing and zanjeer is when you're bound na, when you're a corpse. So in the end all of us have the same you know journey and ek Mati kahe kuhar se, this is one of my favorites. So the matti is telling the kuhar when they are making a pot कि तू क्या रोंधे मोए means तू मुझे क्या पीस रहा है. So that is also for life, you know. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा मैं रोंधूंगी टोए. When you go down when you're buried, I will piso you. So this is like ashes to ashes. Thank you.
Nice. Someone else is there?
Next is Anand and also
Ah.
Alina.
You wanna come here?
Together one song.
Or you can sit there, I'll just
Come.
Hello, check. Thank you.
So we are not Hindi speaking, we are from the south, but we are so inspired by the philosophy of Kabir. And this is something that our bhajan teacher had taught us, and we just love the meaning and the song, and we love to share it together. Bear with us if the pronunciation is not correct.
Don't worry. Sing Kabir.
They don't really understand what this is.
Oh.
They don't know Hindi. So it's beautiful. So there's
But we learned the meaning, so before you could say.
fantastic that
Sorry, man.
Kabira, Kabira, जब हम पैदा हुए जग हंसे हम रोए ऐसी करनी कर चलो हम हंसे जग रोए चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी हे राम नाम रस भीनी चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी हे राम नाम रस भीनी चदरिया जीनी रे जीनी अष्टकमल का चरखा बनाया पांच तत्व की पूनी चदरिया पांच तत्व की पूनी 9-10 बांस बुनन को लागे 9-10 मास बुनन को लागे मूर्ख मेरी कीनी चदरिया जीनी रे जीनी जब मोरी चादर बन घर आई रंग रेज को दीनी चदरिया रंग रेज को दीनी ऐसा रंग रंगा रंग ने ऐसा रंग रंगा रंग ने के लालो लाल दीनी चदरिया जीनी रे जीनी हे राम नाम रस बीनी चदरिया जीनी रे जीनी चादर ओढ़ शंका मत करियो ये 2 दिन तुमको दीनी चदरिया 2 दिन तुमको दीनी मूर्ख लोग वेद नहीं जाने मूर्ख लोग वेद नहीं जाने दिन दिन मेरी कीनी चदरिया जीनी रे जीनी ध्रुव प्रहलाद सुदामणि ओढ़ी सुखदेव ने निर्मल कीनी चदरिया सुखदेव ने निर्मल कीनी दास कबीर ने ऐसी ओढ़ी दास कबीर ने ऐसी ओढ़ी के जो की तुम धर दीनी चदरिया जीनी रे जीनी हे राम नाम रस बीनी चदरिया जीनी रे जीनी जीनी रे जीनी जीनी रे जीनी
सुंदर बहुत सुंदर So anybody else is there who's going to sing? So just for a moment I'll invite you all to just close your eyes and go in silence for 2 minutes. So, there is one couplet of Kabir where Kabir defines what is meaning of Kabir. He said, "Kakka keval naam hai, babba bir sharir, rarra sab mein ram raha, taka naam Kabir." It's like there's three words, K, B and R. Am I audible? No? So, can you come a little closer? That will be nice, I think. Yeah, please come a little closer. Yeah, few people can sit here also. Here also, here also. It's comfortable here. Yeah, now it's hope now I'll be audible now. So the couplet says there is three words, K, B and R. Kakka keval naam hai means the first word K stands for our name. Like my name is Umesh, Kabir, Poonam, someone else, the name. The first word denotes name of this body. And the second word, Babba Bir Sharir, the second word denotes this biological body which is because of our parents. And then third, the R, Rarra Sabume Ramiraha Taka Naam Kabir. So the last word R, which is actually inside all of us, the same thing, that consciousness, that is Kabir. It means you all are sitting in front of me, you all are Kabir. So for every Kabir there is Sahab Bandagi. Why am I saying Sahab Bandagi? Because in Kabir tradition, when we meet each other, we do pranam like Sahab Bandagi. Sahab means that consciousness, that superpower, that God, whatever you can say. And Bandagi means Namaskar. So Sahab Bandagi. Because Kabir had used this Sahab word many times. Sometime when he's saying Sahab mera ek hai, duja kaha na jaye. He is one. And with this, I just welcome you all to be here, especially Poonam ji and Srikant ji, because it was a very short meeting and we interacted a little bit, and then I told I'm coming to Bangalore, and they said if you can come, like lots of things. So thank you to both of you, and thank you to all to coming here and sitting with me. So I always start why we are sitting here. You all just heard the name of Kabir, somebody is coming and he's going to talk about Kabir, he's going to sing Kabir, and you all came. Why? What happened when we heard the name of Kabir? Something comes from inside, something drags us. There are many more saints in medieval period, more than 200 saints are there. They all are respected. But whenever we heard the name of Kabir, we always, it's like Kabir is like a magnetic. Why? Because Kabir declared we all are Kabir. In true sense, we all are Kabir. What we need to recognize ourselves. And I see, like when I used to travel at different places, because I like mountains, river, and then one day I was thinking, why do I like river? Or why do you like rivers? Anyone, like if you're sitting by the river is flowing, you're liking it. Maybe you're loving it. You're in mountains, you're just watching on mountains, and then you're loving it. You're sitting under the tree, you're happy. Why? There are certain questions why. Even I was questioning myself, why am I? Am I going in mountains for picnic? Obviously not. We say it, we are going for picnic. But then I was just trying to understand through Kabir. There is one couplet of Kabir where Kabir said, "Briksha kabahu nahi fal bhak hai, nadi न संचय नीर, परमारथ के कारणे साधु न धरा शरीर." So he said, like, if you really want to learn what love is, you learn from tree. Trees, yeah, trees. Yeah, tree never discriminate. Anybody can come and sit under the tree. Dog can go and sit. A thief can go and sit. A sadhu can go and sit. Tree never denied for its shadow. It's always ready. Whosoever can come and sit. But what we did, somehow inside there is he's a bad, he's a good, he's a right, he's a wrong. Why tree is not doing it? So Kabir take that metaphor and he said, if you really want to learn something, if you want to learn the love and compassion is learned from tree. He said, if you really want to learn that love and compassion, you learn from rivers. River never deny anybody to drink water. Anybody can go and drink. Though we have created the boundaries. That's my river. In mountains, same thing. So what I was able to understand through this, actually, we had attracted a lot from outside and we became fake. It's analysis, you can see how we are fake. Tree is still tree. He had not attracted anything. He is in its absolute sense. River had not attracted anything from anybody, though we have polluted it, that's another matter. But you see, mountains had never changed self, but we had changed a lot on the name of education, on the name of different things. And that's why when Kabir start calling these things, actually we feel that that call is from our inside. That's why we are listening Kabir, that's why we are singing Kabir. How beautiful, like they don't know the language, still they are singing. So I think Kabir is able to connect ourselves with source without any discrimination. Without any discrimination. So when she was singing, "Main bauri duban dari," suddenly something came in my mind. Once I was just sitting with a group of people and they were trying to define, like Kabir is talking about temple, Kabir is talking about mass, actually what is my understanding? From where Kabir is talking, there is no mass, there is no temple, there is no he and she, there is only existence, the absolute is there. Even this difference of body, like somebody has female body or male body, this discriminations go away when Kabir start talking. He's just talking as absolute. So there is no gender. But even today, if we try to see deep down in us, what happens? Somewhere there is a discrimination. But that calling, sometime when something from inside, it calls us. And that is true calling, so there is no discrimination. So because of the true callings, we are always attracted towards absolute, which is pure, consciousness, super consciousness, which is pure and absolute. That's why we want to learn Kabir, that's why we want to sing Kabir. That's my understanding. And then Kabir is available for everybody. He declared it, like when we just like read the couplet of Kabir where he's saying, Kabira khada bazaar mein, mange sab ki khair. This bazaar, this word is very important. You see, even when today you go to the market, what do? You can buy whatever you want to buy. It's up to you, what is your capacity. So Kabir invites us to develop that capacity also. We are that capacity, we have the same capacity, but somehow we forget it. So that's why Kabir used the word bazaar. And that is the reason when we start understanding Kabir, sometimes we feel that there is a contradiction among the couplet of Kabir. There is no contradiction. You see yourself, you imagine yourself, if you are standing in a market and different people are approaching you. Sometime a child can approach you, he had a question, you have to answer. Sometime a young people can contact you, their problem are different, you have to answer them. A sadhu or sage can approach you, you have to answer. Maybe a person who has collected a lot of knowledge like Sarvanand, I'll tell the story, you have to answer them also. So do you think that those all answers can be the same answer? No. So that is why we start understanding Kabir. It is very important to understand context behind the couplet. When he's talking to child, he's behaving like a child. So obviously that couplet is not going to be fit with the young people. And when he's talking with the young, because everybody has a different problem and he's addressing them, and where we are mistaken, we swap it. When like swap it, maybe when he was talking about a person who is like, who had collected a lot of information, we swap it with the real knowledge. Doesn't make any sense. And then, how Kabir can discriminate? He cannot. He cannot talk about a different people. Yeah, he can talk to different people, but he cannot discriminate because he talks about humanity. And if he is discriminating, it means he is discriminating to different humans and there is no humanity. Only he is trying to make us understand. So it's why am I saying it? Because wherever I go, people ask different questions. Kabir is saying this, then there's a contradiction. Somewhere he's talking against the women, somewhere he's talking about the religious people, somewhere he's talking about against the mass, somewhere he's talking against the temple. He's not talking against anybody, because from where Kabir is talking, where he is situated, there's no discrimination. He's on that state where temple, mosque, gurudwara, male and female, they all are one. He's just talking to them, telling them, he's just bringing himself on their level and he's discussing. So it's very important when we start understanding Kabir, we understand it. I remember someone came from America and I was in ashram. And he said, Mr. Kabir, he said Kabir to me. He said, Mr. Kabir, I like Kabir very much. I said, why? He said, because Kabir said, need not to study any book. I said, where? Then he just quoted that couplet, Pothi padh padh jagbua, pandit bhayanak hoye, dhai aakhar prem ka padhe so pandit hoye. I said, where he is saying don't read book? Pothi padh padh jagmua, you just understand it. Pandit bhayanak hoye. Then what to read and become Pandit? Love. So when Kabir is standing and he's like saying, oh my dear brothers and sisters or seekers, why you are reading different kind of scriptures? Few people are reading Vedas, few people are reading Upanishads, they are reading Bible and Quran. Still that discrimination is there. Then why? And he said, the epic, which is I say love, he said just understand, just read the love, understand the love in true sense, and that very day all the books become futile. When you talk to anybody, I'm just talking about, just to talk any religious person, if he's real, you talk and he will say, yeah, if you have a love, everything you have. And finally, like if you are reading different scriptures, what is use of it? Why we are reading it? Because we want to come in our true self. And where there is no love, there cannot be that true self or absolute self. Where there is a violence, there cannot be that true self. Where there is a differentiation on the ground of caste, creed, sex or gender, there cannot be that true self. There can be the gender, there can be the like a different differentiations, but there cannot be the true self. So you see how Kabir is talking. That's why Kabir attracts us. Because somehow the quest which is inside, it's very true. Though we are pretending, I used to say that we became so fake. So the first thing I think, we are sitting here, we are discussing Kabir. I feel that each couplet of Kabir is a sadhana. Each couplet of. I was talking to somebody like when I came in ashram, when I started living in ashram, my Guruji given me the one mantra, and that couplet was Meetha sabse boliye. You see, sabse boliye. This word is very important. Even you cannot discriminate here. Sabse boliye. Child, young, old, religious, non-religious, dogs, animal. Sabse boliye. This is sadhana. It's very deep. And what happened with us? If we are with the wife, if we are with a wife or a husband or children, we play different role. And we say it like, we the fake people say it, it's our responsibility. I cannot treat the same with the same love with the child. How can I do it? I have to teach him lesson. And Kabir is saying, no, meetha sabse boliye. And this is the, even if you read the Vedas, if you read the Upanishad, if you read the Gita, if you read the Bible, I think what is my understanding, the first things which we call sadhana, it comes through words. You have to be, you need to speak sweetly with everybody. That's the first sadhana. It changes a lot inside us. It changes a lot. You see, like, so one day when I was talking to my Guruji, I said, you see, this is sadhana. How it is sadhana? Speaking sweetly with everybody, being sweet with everybody, how it can be the sadhana? Sadhana is something which is like I'm just talking about God or something superpower. And he said, oh, so where is God? God is everywhere if you're just talking about God. So we have defined different words. He said everywhere. That's Advait. And he said, if you are like, there is another thing where Kabir said, Kaun kahan ko, kaun sunan ko, duja kaun janare. Who is speaking, who is listening, both are one. So he make me understand that if you are bitter with somebody, actually you are bitter with the existence, because that same existence is there. If I'm not speaking sweetly, if I'm not behaving well, it's not like that I'm behaving with this body. He said, you are behaving with this existence. You're discriminating with existence. It's not like the different human being who belong from different caste or creed or from like upper society or lower society, or a person who is having a knowledge, a person who don't know anything. You see how important this is, how this is the sadhana. Before talking about that consciousness or absolute self or that supernatural power or God, the first thing what we do in yoga, first we connect with this body. We engage ourselves with the body, and then we engage with our mind, like different, then engage with the spirit or wisdom, whatever you can define it. The first engagement to treat this body like a God. So he's saying that's why it's a sadhana. And if you're sadhak, then you need to be sweet. You need to behave equally with everybody. And that is calling from inside. Even we can witness it. If you're not behaving well with somebody, even you feel pain. Maybe you pretend not to have that pain, but exactly you have that pain. And you see the another part, if you're behaving badly, what happened? You are disturbed, the another person with whom you behaved, he or she is disturbed, and now he's going to talk or she is going to talk somebody else, and then he will be disturbed. You see how he is creating the aura, and then everybody will be angry. So it's our responsibility. That's why Kabir becoming relevant. That's why we are talking about Kabir. Yeah. Is it too serious?
Poignant reflection.
So would you say that is the core philosophy? What you just about love and this sweetness without discriminating?
This is first step. But actually we can say it's a core philosophy also. Because when love's origin, in its real sense, everything else will disappear. So that's why somebody said love is a God. But actually, which love is a God? Yesterday was a Valentine Day. So in February there is like how many days? It started something like many days are there, like we start Rose Day in different days. So maybe it's my understanding, and I think so this time whenever we have to propose somebody, we propose like, I've fallen in love with you. Fallen. So you fallen, you know. And when do you fall? When you are not conscious, when you are not aware, when you are not attentive. Means it's an accident. So Kabir is not talking about fallen in love. Where there is a fallen in love, there will be at last there will be the slap day. It's true, because there will be slap day. So Kabir is talking, the Kabir love is like maybe being in love. But I feel Kabir even not talking about being in love. This love for us, being in love, that's a good, we can say it's a good standard for us. Kabir is talking about be love. Like a tree, like a river.
No expectation.
Yeah, like a mountain, yeah.
Loving.
Whosoever is coming. Why these saints, we want to go and sit with saints? Why do we want to go sit with the gurus? When they are in that state where nothing left but love. So Kabir is talking about that love, be love. And you see, like it's up to you. You see yourself. What do you want? You want to fall in love, being in love, or you want to be love? Doesn't matter you are being or not, but what do you want? What is your quest? What is my quest? Doesn't matter I am or you are unable to make it. But still, the quest is real. The quest is be love. In real sense, you don't want to hate anybody. Sometimes actually we don't want to ask the right question, because we have created boundaries and walls. And Kabir scattered all the boundaries. That's why people are afraid to Kabir. Many more saints says, like, people are very afraid to give freedom. Very afraid to give freedom. Kabir goes in subtlest form of it. And he said, if you are trying to become free, if you are wanting freedom, people will come against you. That's what happened with most of the religious people, with Kabir, with Buddha, with Mahavir, with so many, with Shankaracharya, with so many people who were the real true seekers. People came against and they hanged. But maybe because of fear, maybe because of that social pressure, maybe because of our conditioning, we are unable to do. But in real sense, the quest is real. So whatever we are doing in search of that real quest. That's why we are sitting here. That's why we are talking, we are discussing. We want to understand, we want to feel. It's not like, sometimes I say, why do we need Kabir? And even Kabir said, you don't need me. I am just here to awake you. If you are awakened, you don't need Kabir, you become Kabir. But since you are not awakened, we need. That's what I said. The day you become Kabir, it's okay. Then you can just go on a road and you can talk. People say, like, in this political situation, I was just talking in university and somebody said, oh, what do you think? If Kabir is here, what is going to, what is his, how he survived in the society? I said, Kabir will survive. Why not? He said, no, people will just send him behind the bar. And I said, don't you think that? You think about the Sikandar Lodi. When Kabir was, there was Sikandar Lodi. There was no constitution. And they don't have to ask anything. There was a Bijli Khan Pathan. And even people went and they complained against Kabir. They call Kabir in court. And then when they come to know who Kabir is, then what happened? Even then they bow down. So even if Kabir is today, he will be treated in same way, but he should be Kabir. Means he should not have that dual face, the double face. Talking about love but full of hatred. That's what people are doing. So the meaning of Kabir, or why we are loving Kabir, actually we are loving Kabir who is inside. We are loving Kabir because he is giving us freedom. He has broken all the boundaries, and we don't like boundaries. It's true, we don't like. You don't listen because I am saying. You question yourself, do you like boundaries? Just sit and question. Kabir gives that freedom. And I feel that freedom in each couplet of Kabir. That's why when you go in end of the sayings or the song of Kabir, he will say, Kahat Kabir suno bhai sadho. I am saying, listen, understand, analyze, contemplate. If you find it worth, if you find it in your experience, then accept it. Who is going to give that freedom? Today people are saying, no, this is the right and you have to follow it. And it's true that when you just analyze, contemplate, and when you experience it, you will follow the Kabir. And when you started following Kabir, you are not following Kabir from Varanasi. In that situation, you are not following the Kabir from Varanasi who was in Varanasi. You are following the Kabir who is inside you. And that's why Kabir said, भला हुआ मेरी माला टूटी, राम भजन से छूटी. The rosary which is around our neck, he said, it's good, it's broken. Now I'm like free. Now I don't have to just chant the name of Ram or God. Now what happened? He said, now he will come and he will chant my name. He said, Kabir man nirmal bhaya, jaise ganga neer, पीछे पीछे हरि फिरें कहत कबीर कबीर. Now he's chanting my name. Why? Because now you become that. I'm saying Kabir, you can say Ram, you can say something different. So we need to understand the difference, and we are trying to understand the words. So this is not a word. Even that the word Kabir can be the word Poonam also. You can chant Poonam. You can chant Srikant.
Srikant does that.
But again, this name is not. I'm not talking about name. When that Poonam become that Kabir, or Poonam become actually Poonam, that absolute self. When you become that absolute self, then you are not Poonam. I am not Umesh. You are not somebody else. You become that. And people are not ready to understand that. Even in Upanishad it said Poonamidam Poonamadam. But people aren't understanding it. What people are understanding something very different. But when like the we mad people, I call the people who come in Satsang, I call them the mad people. Because we are mad actually. You see, like Sunday, some people are enjoying their life, they are having breakfast, they are going in club, they are just, just going with girlfriend and boyfriend. Why we are sitting and discussing such a serious point? Because we are mad. But we are mad in real sense. We are asking that question. That's why we are sitting here. Question? We'll take question later. Now we are going to sing something. Okay. So my throat is not good. You all are going to sing with me. Because Kabir should be celebrated. So you all have to clap with me, you all have to sing with me. Are you ready? Yes. And clapping is very simple. So first we'll clap. Okay, are you ready? So clapping is like, it's very simple. Wow. So you all promise to clap, please. भला हुआ भला हुआ मेरी माला टूटी माला टूटी रे माला टूटी राम भजन से छूटी बला रे कबीरा सर से टली बला सर से टली बला भला हुआ मेरी माला टूटी माला टूटी रे मटकी फूटी राम भजन से छूटी सर से टली बला पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जगमुआ पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जगमुआ पंडित भयान कोय पंडित भयान कोय ढाई आखर प्रेम का पढ़े सो पंडित हो रे कबीरा रे कबीरा भला हुआ you promised to sing भला हुआ भला हुआ भला हुआ भला हुआ रे कबीरा रे कबीरा प्रेम न बाड़ी उपजे प्रेम न हाट बिकाए प्रेम न बाड़ी उपजे प्रेम न हाट बिकाए राजा परजा जहीं रुचे शीश दे ले जा रे कबीरा रे कबीरा भला हुआ भला हुआ promise should not be broken भला हुआ भला हुआ मेरी माला टूटी माला टूटी माला टूटी नाम जपन से छूटी सर से टली बला सर से टली बला सर से टली बला रे कबीरा रे कबीरा रे कबीरा रे कबीरा वेरी गुड So how many of you ready to just break that rosary about which Kabir is talking? Are you ready?
Yes.
Because Kabir is dangerous sometime, you know. He said like the another couplet I was singing, प्रेम न बाड़ी उपजे प्रेम न हाट बिकाए राजा परजा जहि रुचे शीश दे ले जाए. So if you want that love, you need to cut your head. So are you ready to cut your head? This is a question. And exactly Kabir is not talking about this chopping this head. He's talking about the ego which is here, the discrimination which is here, the misunderstanding, the fake approach of understanding the things, and then declaring that I am the witty person. He's saying if you're ready to do that, only then you can understand Kabir. And again, not Kabir from Banaras. Kabir within. So that's why he said. And what we are doing, we are trying. I always used to just quote this, actually, one song. Someday I was just going somewhere and I was in auto rickshaw. And that auto rickshaw man was playing the song. मैं भी खरीदार हूँ, मैं भी खरीदूंगा, प्यार कहाँ बिकता है पता बताना यारो. So like he was saying that I have a lot of money and I can buy love. Just to tell me the market from where I can buy the love. So that's what we are doing. It's a great analysis. We are trying to exchange love through gift. I'm not saying don't give gift, please give. Even if you are ready to give me, I'm ready to receive it. But still what Kabir is saying, the understanding or the bhav behind it. It's saying if you're thinking that love grows in the pond or in the field, you're wrong. And if you're thinking that you can buy a love from market, like through gifts, you're wrong. Only and only the condition you have to cut your head or ego. And when there is no ego, then you are empty. Then you are real. Then you are like the ego comes from different things. Sometimes the ego of body, sometimes ego of belonging from some sect, sometimes the ego to belong from some very reputed family, sometimes ego of belong to an educated group, sometimes ego to just I'm coming from Kabir house. That is also ego. You know. So I was in Bangalore and I was sitting with a gentleman, and something we started discussing, and he said, like, how do you think that from where that ego comes from? And when he was explaining, he said, sometime when you are saying something, when you are claiming something, there is an ego. And that very day, I'm telling my own journey, I started thinking sometime when I go on a stage and when I introduce myself, I say I come from the house of Kabir. And that very moment, I feel that when I say I come from the house of Kabir, people are not knowing it. People are thinking that I'm just introducing myself, but I was really able to understand it comes from ego. It's not like that I'm not going to introduce myself, but I was able to understand the subtlest form of ego, that telling people that I'm coming from the house of Kabir, what I feel that time. I feel little uplifted in sense of ego. I feel, okay, I belong to the house of Kabir. I claim something. I'm not saying I've stopped introducing myself that way, but even I was able to understand the subtlest difference. Saying this, I belong to the house of Kabir. Now I'm very, very aware when I introduce myself, I always see myself, I'm attentive. That is there ego who's raising his head? That much subtle it is. And you see, like the saints like Kabir, Raidas, Pipa, Dadu, Dariya, they were from like their families. If you think about, somebody was cobbler, somebody was the weaver, somebody was like the tailors, yeah, somebody was like the barber. And what was there? That God was coming to meet them. That's what they say. They said it God. What was there? It was making shoes all day and night. Still they were in their self. They were inside. So there is one wonderful couplet of Kabir where he said, सुमिरन की सुध यूं करो जूं गागर पनिहारी, हौले डौले सूरत में कहे कबीर विचारी. He's saying, you see the lady from Rajasthan, you might have seen in movies, or you might have seen in Rajasthan if you got an opportunity to go there. These ladies have to go a far away to fetch water, and they're carrying like 5-6 pots one after another. And like in movies, I have seen, they never hold like this. They just keep it and then walk. And while walking, they are cracking joke, they are talking about husband, they are talking about children, they are talking about worldly life. Few people are tinkling. Still that is not falling. That's there. Kabir said, we need to be that. While performing everything outside of you, living with children, taking care of family, doing your job, only you have to be connected to the source. And if Kabir can do it, like we can do it. I feel so. Because you see the Kabir, he's a weaver. And if you go through the life of Kabir, his life was so very complicated. He had not money, he has not a house. He was just weaving a cloth, he was selling in the market. And we have business. We have everything around it, we have car. But we are not becoming Kabir. Why? Because we are here, outside. But Kabir Sahab is performing all the tasks, but he is in. So that's journey. So we have to leave pretending, we have to be what we are. And this way we can actually recognize our Kabir. And Kabir Sahab is never going to snatch, like Kabir is not snatching anything from you, he is just giving whole freedom. Do your job, live with your family, fulfill your responsibility. Only one thing, you learn how to connect yourself in every situation. And if you're connected to yourself, whatever you are doing, that's become puja. Kabir said, जहाँ जहाँ जाऊँ सोई परिक्रमा, जो जो करूँ सो पूजा, जब सोऊँ तब करूँ दंडवत भाव न लाऊँ दूजा. Kabir is not saying you need not to go to temple. Kabir is actually saying you need to be in that state wherever you are going. Because whenever we go in temple, we take a sacred round of temple. That's what we call parikrama. And Kabir Sahib is saying, jahan jahan jaun. You came to Satsang, you are doing the sacred round, you're taking the sacred round. Jo jo karu so puja, whatever you are doing, eating, walking, talking, everything is your like worshipping. Jab soऊं tab karu dandvat. When we go in temple, we just lie down, prostrate, and in front of God. It's Kabir saying, no. Whenever I'm sleeping, I'm doing it. Why I need to just do it separately? But the last bhavana laung dosa. That is very important. I'm in that state where the bhava is not that I am aloof from it. I am that source. I became that source. And when you become that, then everything becomes puja. And for that, actually, because we are talking a lot about it, and then there is a question, how can we do it? How can? And Kabir suggests the steps. The first step, what I feel, the first couplet I quoted, "Meetha sabse boliye." The first and fundamental, be sweet with everybody and feel that you are interacting with existence, not somebody else. Meetha sabse boliye. Then the second step, love. Start giving love without expectation. And we have to do it. If we want to reach to that state, we have to do it. Slowly we'll do it. And then another steps. Stop telling lie to yourself. You see how subtle it is. The first lie, before telling lie to somebody else, you tell lie to yourself. You convince yourself. He said, don't lie to yourself. And at the moment when you stop lying to yourself, you will not be able to lie with others. Third step. Don't hurt or kill somebody. These are the steps. First, we need to pure ourselves on this level. He's talking about non-violence. He said, you do, like you treat, like if somebody is going to cut, like if he's just going to give a cut, you feel pain. But we're just cutting and cutting and cutting and eating. Sorry. But Kabir said, treat with them like you are treating to yourself. These are the steps. Without following these steps, nobody can reach to that state about which Kabir is talking. Impossible. And if you're following these steps, you start becoming purer and purer and purer. Then obviously you start coming inside. Then actually you are practicing the real thing. The real practice is there. So these are the steps first need to follow, and while following these steps, we need to be truthful with ourselves. We don't have to prove somebody that I am doing. This is also false, you know. We always try to prove that I did it. No, you need not to. Because at the moment when you thought that I did it, again the ego came. And it can be, like it is not that I am talking something superficial. We can do it in micro installment. That's what my way. Because after sitting in satsang, you just go to home and just you tell all the truth to your husband or wife, then you can understand what's going to happen over there. So you need to be aware about it. But still, we start improving here. And then we start becoming Kabir. And then we start witnessing when Kabir is saying, Ghat ghat mein panchi dolta, har ghat mein panchi dolta. Then we start realizing it. So we can sing this actually. We can celebrate this. Hope I'm audible. Actually, I'm trying my best. Ready to sing? पंछी बोलता घट घट में पंछी बोलता, हर घट में पंछी बोलता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता, हर घट में पंछी बोलता। आप हिमालय, आप बगीचा, आप हिमालय, आप बगीचा, आप ही बैठा तोलता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता। आप हिमालय, आप बगीचा, आप हिमालय, आप बगीचा, आप ही कलियां तोड़ता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता। आप ही दंडी, आप तराजू, आप ही दंडी, आप तराजू, आप ही बैठा तोलता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता। आप ही दंडी, आप तराजू, आप ही दंडी, आप तराजू, आप ही बैठा तोलता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, घट घट में पंछी बोलता। Understand this stanza. सब जन में तो आप विराजे, सब जन में तो आप विराजे, जड़ चेतन में डोलता, घट घट में पंछी डोलता। सब जन में तो आप विराजे, सब जन में तो आप विराजे, जड़ चेतन में डोलता, घट घट में पंछी डोलता, घट घट में पंछी डोलता। कहत कबीर, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई सारो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई सारो, मन की घुंडी खोलता, गट गट में पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, गट गट में पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता, पंछी बोलता. Tell me the time. Otherwise Kabir will go since night. So now if you have any question, or maybe I can ask a question because we both are same. That's why I said. So if you want to ask any question, maybe if I am able to answer.
It's more of a reflection, but it's very interesting that we talked about Kabir and the boundaries. And I see that having lived now in India for long years, but also not only my exposure to the West and the children who are in the West, and many of us have children there, and so on and so forth. I think if anything, they talk more about boundaries at so many dimensions. Boundaries of their space, of their time, of their availability and non-availability, about their it seems to be there are more walls than a free flow. And one of the struggles, of course, in India, maybe we do it inadvertently or we're not aware of it, we demonize people many times about it, that we have an open house with a free flow of people coming in and out, and there are absolutely no boundaries. So at some level in India, among the people, there is no boundaries at one level.
Yeah.
And they really live without boundaries. So I think that's while I fully understand where Kabir comes from, it's a challenge, I think, on a very personal and practical level.
True. I agree. I totally agree. So that's why it started like Kabir talks about that inner journey. When it started, automatically that discrimination will not come, that boundaries will not come. Till we are like outside, there is boundaries. So I totally agree with you. That's inner journey. And I feel, because even I was outside, and I feel there are more walls. As you said, space and this and that. I'm not comparing, but I can say like Indians are better than them. Sorry to say. In some sense, not in all sense.
Well, I think the comment to that is that I think because they have the luxury of space,
Yeah.
they have more walls, whereas we don't actually physically
don't have
we don't
space.
have those spaces.
Yeah.
And we have no walls. People are living together.
Yeah.
Such an open environment without walls, that we are also, at a spiritual level, able to overcome those physical walls and interact in a different way, I think. And if we are keeping our eyes open to what is happening around us, not in this type of environment, but in a more real environment where the real India lives, I think you'll find those boundaries at one level are not there.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm totally agreeing. Maybe that's why because I'm talking about Kabir, so I can go through Kabir. What Kabir is talking about boundaries. It's totally different, and exactly those we can include those boundaries here, because if anything which is treating as a boundaries or conditioning, Kabir is actually not talking about it. He's just talking about free flow. As I said, like even the subtlest discrimination when we say mother and father, even there is a boundary. But when Kabir talks about, he will say like the absolute.
So
In
no
that sense.
identity basically at all is what he's saying.
Yeah, if you're talking about that physical identity, still that physical entity is there, but actually through which we are creating boundaries. You will be you, I will be I, but still when the discriminations come, when their boundaries come, when that thought come, like Srikant is asking question, he's a male. You see, like you are female. Now I created boundary. Both of you are asking question. So I have to stick with the question, not with this that you are asking question or he is asking questions. That's why you see, like the wonderful part is that when Kabir when he start talking about spirituality, he always declared that I am the lady, Dulhan. Kabir will always say Dulhan. He's not a physical body. He said, I am Dulhan. So why he's saying? Because he has lost that. So again, this is, you can say that like Kabir is identifying himself as a Dulhan, means the female. But exactly Dulhan, when he's talking about, it's not talking about this physical sense. He's talking about the real sense. And then there is the duality, where you want to connect with that Advat. So he's just going to merge into it. So actually if that boundaries is coming, it's creating space, it's creating problems. That should not be. That's what Kabir is trying to tell.
What I want to say, just to enhance that, is that identity is important for us to conduct. See, identity is important for us to conduct our
Please
lives.
come little closer, because I told you last night I have like.
When we say we have identity, right?
Yeah.
Like mother, father, this, that, you and me. We can say, yeah, no identity. How do we conduct ourselves in a worldly, just a physical plane? It's impossible. It's difficult.
Yeah.
So identity is not important. It's useful tool for us to conduct our life. But the value we place on the identity is the issue.
Yeah, it is
It's
so.
always that everyone says, okay, no identity. Okay, I'm you. I'll take your thing. You take my thing. It's not that. It's just that value we place on me being something, me being from somewhere. You can't take it away.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
from XYZ. But the value you place on it is the keeps the distance between what you believe you are
Yeah,
and what you
yeah,
are.
yeah.
So he's saying is identity is only transactional. If it's transactional,
It's
fine.
important.
It's a
important.
fine.
It's a necessary tool.
But if identity
like this.
becomes your identity, then there's a problem.
That's it.
Yeah, sometime when with that identity, that ego comes.
Correct.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Another thing I was
Yeah.
thinking when you were saying about
Yeah,
ego
yeah.
a lot is that in scriptures they say I is the ego. Because that's the minute you mention I am X, then you created ego. Without ego, that you cannot say that at all. That's why some people, some Gurujis say hum, or they will say in a passive sentence, it is done like this, they will say. I will not, they will say, I will do this, they won't say. Because that I itself is loaded with ego. And in fact, Sanskrit, I was just thinking today, aham is I. Aham is also ego. Actually, I just didn't occur to me till today that aham is actually I, aham is also ego in Sanskrit. They already understood.
And I think
Yeah, vandeham.
yeah.
Aham vande.
But in Sanskrit, ahamkar
Yeah.
is purely the I and my sense.
That's it.
all.
That's it.
It's not the ego as we understand
No,
it.
yeah.
It's
And-
the sense of I and
Without ego, I cannot come.
And the another thing, intention behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
In Greek there is one sutra, one aphorism that will say like actus non facit reum, non sit mens rea. So act is not important.
Intention.
What is your intention behind act?
Yeah.
It is important. Like maybe when I was doing my law, my professor has given such a wonderful example. He said, Umesh, you think if somebody has kidnapped your mother, and he said, just go and kill Srikantji, what will you do? I said, I'll go and kill because I will kill. And then he said, it means you committed murder. Then you will be punished. Then he asked question, what do you think? Who will be punished? And all the students said, like, Umesh will be punished because he murdered. And then he said, what was his intention? Was his intention to kill Srikantji? No. His intention was to save his mother or brother. And whose intention was to kill? The person who compelled him to kill. So actually he will be punished. So even when we are talking about this, I think their intention is most important thing. That I, when even I'm saying I, if intention is that ego, if intention is that identification, then yeah, that's the issue. That's what I understand.
You mentioned consciousness. Sorry, I have a bad throat. You mentioned consciousness and Advait and all. So was he expounding that?
What do you mean?
Seems like that. Kabir in a simplified way through his dohas and all that. He say everything is one and all. So seems to be expounding that.
Yeah, he was. He was. He's the same. Yeah, he was same. Yeah. But exactly, whenever I talk about Kabir, I always say Kabir was not talking about philosophy. He was not giving philosophy. He was living it.
He was living it, yes.
So he was not drafting the scripture. That's irony that now it's drafted and I'm talking about it. But when Kabir was, he was living it. Yeah.
But it has come, even the Ramayana
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
has come from weavers and fishermen
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
people from there. It has come from
And what was Kabir's relationship with the scriptures? Did he ever quote scriptures, or he distanced himself from that kind of formal knowledge?
So actually this question is quite tricky, because even I have seen in different universities people start comparing. Like maybe we'll sitting here, we'll say, because when Kabir is the time of Kabir, before that few people were talking about what Kabir had talked. But I find it little difficult. Why so? Because again, Kabir was not talking about anything else. He was not talking about, he was not taking something from Buddha, or he was not taking something from Ramayana or Mahabharata. He was just talking about his journey. It's another thing that it comes in it. And now it's our mind and logic, we always try to connect with it. So it's our problem that we are connecting Kabir, or we are connecting Tulsi, or we are connecting somebody else from there. They all have their individual journey, and they've gone through the experience, and then they said, yeah, there are certain words which come, we cannot change the words, like when Kabir talks about Ram. He just talked about Bhajore Bhaiya Ram Gobind Hari. These words are like somebody, okay, Kabir is talking about Hari. I'm not denying Kabir is not talking about Hari, but Kabir is talking about Hari, but in real sense. So words are there, but I feel his journey was journey, and whatever he experienced, that's what he said. So I feel, personally, I never compare anybody with anybody. And I always deny when sometimes it has been called like, can you just compare Kabir and Tulsi? Can you compare like Meera? I feel they all have their individual journey, and that journey is so rich. If you just go and follow that, only that journey, you will become enlightened or liberated. It's not like that we have to connect. It's our mind, the logic, the information what we have collected from all around. That's what I feel.
So there's a saying in the Rig Veda,
Yeah.
it says, if you don't know Brahman, Brahman is that.
Yeah.
If you don't know Brahman, you will not understand the Vedas. If you know Brahman, you don't need to understand.
And the
Kabir not understood.
and the irony is that actually the most of them who's claiming to understand that Vedas, they are very far away from Brahmans. I can be also in that role. I'm not saying, I'm not claiming anything. I always feel I'm just, whatever I have received with the grace of my gurus, I'm just trying to share it. Even today I feel I'm a seeker. You all are sitting, I'm sitting together, discussing and learning. It's not something that I'm here to tell. You all know more than me. Yeah.
He de-intellectualized a lot.
Sorry?
He de-intellectualized a lot, I feel.
Yeah,
That's his appeal.
that's appeal.
I think when somebody like Kabir speaks from experience, right, then all that we talk about is already in the experience.
Yeah.
You really, now we find connection, oh, that's Veda, oh, this is Ramayana, they're all there inside.
Yeah.
You don't need a book. for us to figure out the truth of that, all that stuff that has been said.
Yeah,
That's why it becomes more of a, they're there.
So there is a wonderful story actually, which is like about Kabir and Pandit Sarvanand. So one scholar from south somewhere, I don't know, whose name was Sarvanand, and he had read all the scriptures, all the scriptures, and after collecting the information, he started going at different places for debate, the spiritual debate, Shastrarth. And like when he come to know that somebody is talking something, he's a knowledgeable person, he will go and defeat. And after defeating, he'll snatch all the books from that man and he'll be kept. So wherever he is going, like with him, like there is a teen, the bull, and he just put all the books on bull. So like if he's discussing with me, he will show this. You see what I'm saying, there's a proof. And he's traveled a lot at different places, he defeated many scholars. One day he reached to his mother and he said to his mother, you call me the victor, Sarvajit, means who has defeated everybody. His mother was like, he was Brahma Jnani, and sometimes you cannot defeat mothers. So she said, okay, I'll call you the victor. It's a story, again, I don't know how much real, but in my tradition people believe it's real. So he went, when his mother said, you go to Kashi. He said, I've been there so many times, I defeated scholars over there. Who is this Kabir? And she said, you go and find, if you want me to call you victor, who has defeated everybody. So people said, like the story goes like that, he reached to the ashram, the Kabir, the house of Kabir. And then the disciple, like the daughter, people said daughter, we said disciple of Kabir, was just fetching water from well, Kamali. And he was thirsty. He just wanted to quench his thirst. So he said, give me water. She gave him water, he quenched his thirst. And then she asked, where is the house of Kabir? Then she said one couplet. The couplet, Kabir kaghar shikhar par, jahan silhili gail, pawan tike pipelika, tah khalkan lade bail. Means the house of Kabir is situated on the top of spirituality. And the streets are very narrow and slippery. An ant cannot go there. Oh, knowledgeable man, how will you go with 18 bullocks? He was a jnani. It's like he thought she's saying something, but again there was an ego. And when there's an ego with knowledge, it's very difficult to come out of it. So story goes like that. He reached to Kabir and Kabir recognized he's a Pandit Sarvanand. Now something will be here. And then Sarvanand reached and said, Kabir, I'm here to debate with you. Kabir said, what kind of debate you are talking about? I cannot debate with you. He said, why? Because he said, मैं कहता आँखन की देखी, तू कहता कागद की लेखी. I talks about experience, you talks about this all books. How can we debate? He said, okay, if you don't want to debate, just accept defeat. He said, I accept it. I'm defeated by you. He said, no, I'm not going to just, you have to write it. I need proof. Then Kabir said, okay, you write, I'll make a sign or something. Then he wrote. It's like the story, he wrote, Kabir defeated by Pandit Sarvanand. And then when he went in front of mother, it was Pandit Sarvanand defeated by Kabir. I feel, I'm again not putting magic, but even I have experienced it. Like if I'm talking to somebody, something is appealing me, you write, maybe he himself exchanged the word. You can understand in that sense also, if you want. But I believe that happened, it changes. And there was Pandit Sarvanand defeated by Kabir. When he opened, he was like perplexed. What is happening? I wrote. Even I wrote it, then how it can be changed? Mother smiled and he said, I'll go again. And its story goes like, he came 18 times. And every time something happened and he was sitting and talking with Kabir. And finally he said, now I want to stay with you. And we stayed, and then like after some time he became disciple of Kabir. And Kabir changed his name and he given the name Surati Gopal. Again the Surati is that state. when you are here. And why I started this story?
About
Huh?
ego.
Too into. Yeah, yeah. So exactly, yeah. So that here, Kabir, you see, when he becomes Surati Gopal, Gopal, Kabir accepted him. He was there when he left that ego. When his intention to have a knowledge, even after learning or after mugging up all the scriptures, he was Sarvajit. He was not Surati Gopal who is established here. But at the moment when he realized, he became the Surati Gopal. So again, those books and intellectual things are there. And again, like, it can help us. I am not saying that those books are not going to help us. They are good, they can help, but still we have to very much attentive and aware. That's what my understanding. You need to bring your awareness in everything. And then I think when you start realizing that, I feel that all the books or scriptures are futile if it is not in your experience. These are the words, mere words. If you start experiencing it, then only it's become the scripture. Otherwise, we are reading like a parrot. We said Ram, 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 Ram. But when we realize that Ram become the mantra, and again that Ram don't have to take something and something here and there. That's become mantra because you are connected with this inside. So again, this intention is very important. I feel. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Did you have a question? Yeah, I did, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Already timed.
Answered. The question has been answered.
Not answered. but it's
I have a question. How affected was he by the political atmosphere at the time? Because his reference is to iconoclastic reference is to Ram and stuff. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I understand your question. He was like, if I talk about the physical entity of Kabir, the story says he was affected by it because people created a problem for him. So somehow he was affected, but I think when he was talking about again, he witnessed those things, but he was not being affected from inside. He was witnessing and then he had compassion for a people. That's what he was saying. You know, like if I talk about Sikandar Lodi, when he was the Bijli Khan Pathan, there are stories when he had to go through pain. And even he was in Banaras. Banaras is the city of, the scholars. The scholars was against the Kabir. That's what story says. The whole story, like when he went in ashram to have education, the people, like the disciples of Ramanand, they said you cannot have because you belong to this particular caste or you are a weaver. There are stories about it. But finally, when you start understanding his journey, then whatever he said, he not said out of his pain. Because sometimes people identify Kabir had gone through it, that's why I said it. Because already if you see, it's very important to go through all the different perspective of Kabir, and then you will find Kabir was not affected by anything. But because it's happening, so he has a pain, he has a compassion for people, and that's why he said. Does it make sense?
Oh, I can. Little hard to believe, but possible for a very divine person. It's possible.
Even when he died, they were fighting, right? Whether he is Hindu or Muslim.
Yeah, there was.
Right. How do we bury him or do we burn him? And he was like, look, like none of my teachings worked. There's this, I don't know if it's true.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
there's
this
thing that
this
when
is
he was
there.
dying, they were fighting outside his house.
And they found flowers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I didn't
they,
know that.
everybody took.
Yeah, if we start putting logics, many more things like looks illogical. But I think when we start understanding the way Kabir was trying to make us understand, it makes sense.
Did he have a guru?
Yeah, he had.
Who?
The Ramanandji, people claim Ramanandji, yeah. And then later you will claim that Ramanand's become his disciple. So that's again logic.
Oh, there's a doha also for that.
That's the logic. Again, I'll say this is logic from here. Because we love it actually, no? Even after satsang, we can discuss these things.
Also, a lot of his life,
Yeah.
there are lots of ambiguities. Exactly where was he? We don't know the chronological. He didn't write autobiography, etc. So I think he cannot be pinned down.
Yeah.
That is the essence of it. You
Yeah.
cannot say he did this, he did
Yeah,
that. he was
yeah,
here.
yeah.
It is incidental.
Yeah.
I think that is very
Only
life
the
is like
only the banis which is available,
Yeah.
if you start understanding on the ground of those banis. And again, I suggest everybody, like again I'm saying, after spending approx 25 years to understanding Kabir, even today when I start taking some couplets, I found something new there. So I always request youngsters or people, please don't surf internet and find that 15 or 20 sakhi and start talking about Kabir. You know, I was talking like, if you just talk about the Bijak, the main book of Kabir is Bijak. It has more than 500 couplets.
main book
Bijak, B-I-J-K, Bijak. It has only like 500 something, 552 couplets and sayings. Another book which is called Sakhi Granth. So Sakhi Granth is divided in 84 parts. And each parts include maybe 500, 600, 300, 350, 50 couplets. So you say like 84 parts. It's like big one. And then if you just go and see the Guru Granth Sahib, most of the couplet, if you just take out the Kabirs from there, it will become tiny. So it's a lot Kabir is there. And then another book which is like Mahabijak, it's like this much. And what we do, we go in internet, okay, Kabir and love. We do that. If we have to talk about love, Kabir and his love. And then we'll take something and then we'll read the explanation which is explained by somebody and we start talking. So I always say, like, if you want to talk about Kabir, the first thing you need maybe to put everything together, you understand every perspective, and then only you will be able to, because people like you said Kabir looks iconoclast. For me, Kabir was never iconoclast. Like Linda has said Kabir criticized. I feel Kabir never criticized. He said truth. It's understanding. Though we can quote the couplet when he's saying Man na rangaya jogi kapda. So the yogis will say he's talking against him. But Kabir is not talking. He's saying what is important? To color your inside, not a cloth. If you have colored your clothes. So again, Kabir, maybe you can say that Pathar Puje Hari Mile Tu. Here you can show him iconoclast. But again, these are the tricks played by. Sorry to say, but I used to say that this professor in universities, they had ruined the Kabir. And I have said in universities, very, yeah.
He is read,
Yeah.
so he is intellectualized also.
Yeah, and you see, sometime if we are putting logic, people say that Kabir was illiterate. How it is possible? Today we can learn any language within 3 months. How tough it was for Kabir to just writing the couplets. And then if you start talking people, they will quote only one couplet of Kabir. Masi kagaj chhuyo nahi, kalam gayo nahi haath. Only one couplet. I was just talking with the professor in Jamia Islamia and lots of people were there. And the professor, he was saying Kabir was illiterate. I said, sir, can you prove it? And he said, this couplet. I said, I'll tell you more than 5-6 couplets where Kabir is talking about writing. If you are saying Kabir himself is saying Masi kagaj chhuyo nahi, then why Kabir is saying Sab dharti kagad karu, lekhan is sab ban raha hai. Saat samudra ki masi karu, guru gune likha na jaye. So he's talking about writing. Just go through Gyan Chautisa. Start from Ka word to Gyan. So I feel, though these are the not important questions, but sometime it comes.
And also in those days, knowledge was transmitted verbally. You know, I think
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
This emphasis on writing, like, anyway. I just wanted to ask you your journey. I mean, because you said 25 years in the ashram, lawyer. So how did you? And there's a very potent question.
Always
here.
uncomfortable for me.
Have you ever felt like completely one with the universe and connected?
So can we
take this over there because a couple of people have to go.
Oh, coffee.
Yeah.
Over chai. But
one
no,
more.
but my one more song from
Yeah,
my one
yeah,
friend.
yeah.
He has practiced one song.
Okay, please.
One, yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Yes,
it
yes.
on chai.
Always time for it.
This is one of my favorite ones.
Okay. Your question we'll talk about later. No, we'll talk later. Thank you.
See, my introduction to Kabir was Kumar Gandhar. I so happened to see a documentary. I didn't know who he was. Then I got into the, oh wow, what music. Then I realized he's a Hindustani musician, but he sings Kabir in a very unique way.
Yeah.
So that was his, that was my introduction long time ago. सुनता है ज्ञानी 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 सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 सुनता है सुनता है सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 गगन में आवाज हो रही सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 पहिले आए नाए आए पहिले आए नाद बिंदु से पीछे जमया पानी पानी हो जी पहिले आए 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 नाद बिंदु से पीछे जमया पानी पानी हो जी सब घट पूरण पूर रहा है अलखुश निर्वाणी हो जी निर्वाणी हो जी सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 वाह से आया पता लिखायो वाह से आया पता लिखायो कृष्णा तूने बुझाई बुझाई तृष्णा तूने बुझाई बुझाई अमृत छोड़ सो विषयों को धावे उलटी फांस फसानी हो जी फसानी हो जी सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 गगन मंडल में गोबियानी गगन मंडल में गोबियानी मोई से दही जमाया जमाया गोई से दही जमाया जमाया माखन माखन संतों ने खाया माखन माखन संतों ने खाया था
जगत
बापुरानी होगी बापुरानी होगी सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 बिन धरती एक मंडल दिसे बिन धरती एक मंडल दिसे बिन सरोवर जू पानी रे बिन सरोवर जू पानी रे गगन मंडल में होयो जियाला गगन मंडल में होयो जियाला बोल गुरु मुखबानी हो जी सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 ओहम सोहम बाजा बाजे त्रिकुटी धाम सुहानी रे त्रिकुटी धाम सुहानी रे ईडा पिंगला सुख मान नारी ईडा पिंगला सुख मान नारी सुन भजा पहरानी हो जी सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 कहते कबीरा सुनो भाई साधो कहत कबीरा सुनो भाई साधो छाया गम की बानी रे छाया गम की बानी रे दिन भर रे जो नजर भर देखे दिन भर रे जो नजर भर देखे आज अमर निशानी हो जी निशानी हो जी सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 सुनता है सुनता है सुनता है सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी 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 ज्ञानी
Wow. Wonderful. So before saying thank you, I think we all can sing together the last song for 2 minutes. We all. So you all are going to sing. चदरिया चादरिया चादरिया धीनी रे धीनी काहे का ताना, काहे की भरनी, काहे का ताना, काहे की भरनी, कवन तार से बीनी, चादर झीनी, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, इंगला पिंगला ताना भरनी, इंगला पिंगला ताना भरनी, सुख मन तार से बीनी, चादर झीनी, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, अस कमल दल चरखा चाले, अष्ट कमल दल चरखा चाले, पांच तत्व गुण तीन, साई को सियत मास 10 लागे, ठोक ठोक के बीनी, चादर झीनी, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीनी झीनी, बीनी चादर, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, सो चादर सुर नर मुनि ओढ़े, सो चादर सुर नर मुनि ओढ़े, ओढ़ के मैली कीन्ही, दास कबीर, दास कबीर जतन से ओढ़े, ज्यों की त्यों धर दीने, चादर झीनी, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, झीने झीने, चादरिया झीनी, 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 Thank you to all of you for coming and spending time with me. Thank
Okay,
you.
just one practical thing. If everybody can